Hiya folks, how's it going? My name is Lexi and I really love tabletop games. So much so that we get together once a week, every week, here at the gaming table and we review one together. I try to keep these videos under 10 minutes so that we can both find our next game. If that sounds interesting to you, I encourage you to press subscribe and keep watching today's video. If you would really like to go the extra mile for the gaming table, you can donate to the channel using the link to my Ko-Fi page in the description box below. All donations go straight back into the running costs of the channel, so it is deeply appreciated. Today I am getting to review a game which was sent to me. I always really enjoy this. Not only does it give me a game to review, but it often gives me the chance to review a game I might not have had the chance to otherwise. If you have made a game and you want to see it on the gaming table, the best way to contact me is through the email address in my description box below. I do have a bit of a pile to review, so it might be a while until I can get to your game, but I'm always open to discussing what we can work out. Today we are discussing a game about human connection and science fiction. From Tanya Floker and Julia Neverlayan, this is The Connection Machine. In this game, players take on the role of scientists exploring a new experiment. They are using their minds to explore a hypercube. I did have to then Google what a hypercube is. To simplify a lot of interesting mathematical theories, a hypercube is a shape which exists beyond the third dimension. To conduct this research, the scientists are using a supercomputer called the Connection Machine. By connecting their minds to the computer, they can then explore this space beyond our dimension. What the scientists will see in the hypercube isn't explicitly set out by the manual. You get a couple of examples and instructions on how to describe the different locations you might visit. In this game, it's up to the players to come up with these spaces. These spaces are going to be dreamlike and often draw on the subconscious of a character in the game. Emerging out of these spaces are PTSD demons, which present a sizable threat to the player characters, and the characters do have to work together to defeat them. You do get some examples and instructions on how to use these demons in the game. Hopefully the scientists can exorcise these demons from the landscape. You'll experience different locations as you travel through the hypercube. In this game, you will need a group of players and 2 d6s, and hopefully the 2 d6s are different colours. Preferably you'll have a set of d6s per player. This game is played without a game master. I would say the zine acts as the game master for this game, guiding the players through the experience and providing suggestions on how to make the game run smoothly. The manual absolutely encourages a collaborative approach for the players. This game can wander into some pretty dark territory, and the manual stipulates that it would be a wise decision to discuss boundaries and expectations between the players before playing. I think this makes sense for the kind of game that it is. Once you've had this discussion, the game manual then sets out the stages of play. These stages are team building, exploration, singularity, and conclusion. During team building, the players select what kind of role they would like to play in the team. There's explorers, scientists, engineers, philosophers, and psychologists. Rather than these roles providing different mechanics to the players, they more so influence the methodology that these characters take and perhaps how they might respond to different stimuli. I think this does make the role-playing aspect a little bit easier, as you're given something to sort of go on. During the team building phase, the players discuss and map out how their characters relate to each other. This is done through describing what attachment style they have towards another character. Some of these attachment styles are going to be familiar to us, maybe secure or anxious, but some of the ones on the page are perhaps going to be a bit more unfamiliar. I do think they make for a fascinating dynamic to have a mix of all of these. Then for your character, you select a response style that they have. This is what their knee-jerk reaction to something upsetting will be. One of the last things you do in the team building stage is you select a response that your character has. This is their sort of knee-jerk reaction to unpleasant things. You then need to select an instinctual response that your character will have. This is kind of how they just react on gut instinct to unpleasant things. Then lastly, the players need to select for their characters two stats: what their character's emotional intelligence score is and what their character's emotional resilience score is. In the exploration phase, you explore strange landscapes, encounter those PTSD demons I mentioned, and you roll the d6s to see how your characters react to what they're presented with. This stage is somewhat freeform in the roleplay, so there's plenty of opportunities to explore something strange and interesting. Eventually, the journey through the hypercube results in a singularity event. This is when the different layers of the hypercube and probably the player character's subconsciousnesses start collapsing in on each other. So this is when they really need to work together and hopefully roll well to make it out. The conclusion section of the game is a structured debrief for the game for the players. I always appreciate these structured debriefs. They can help make the session of the game feel meaningful, and also can just help unpack what has happened and what we liked. This scene provides a really structured way of moving through the game and really guides the players through the experience. So this is a game about exploring the conscious and subconscious mind, and it does have the capacity to be pretty heavy. It could also be wonderful. In a couple of ways, I was reminded of the film The Boy and the Heron. There's a chance you might come across a stunning landscape and then something horrid will emerge out of it that you have to deal with. As the manual states, the logic of these different places is going to be dreamlike, so it's not always going to make the most sense. You can get a digital copy of this game on itch.io for $10. There are also a couple of free copies available there. I think if you can afford to purchase the game for $10 US and you're interested in it, I would encourage you to do so. It just shows a bit of support towards the creators. I definitely think that $10 US is absolutely worth the price. I want to say thank you again to Tanya Floker and Julia Neverlayan for giving me a copy of this game to review. I really enjoyed the concept and I think it would produce a really fascinating single session game for any group of players. But what did you guys think? Do you know any games that explore the subconscious mind that you want to recommend? Let me know about them in the comments section down below. While you're there, I encourage you to like this video and perhaps even share it with a friend. If you would like to know when I am next uploading a review, you can subscribe and turn on notifications so YouTube will let you know. If you really would like to go the extra mile for the gaming table, you can donate to the channel using the link to my Ko-Fi page in the description box below. All the donations to the channel go straight back into the running costs of the channel, so it is deeply appreciated. If you have made a game and you want to see it on the gaming table, please feel free to reach out to me using the email address in my description box. I want to thank you all for watching and discussing the Connection Machine with me. I hope you're all well, and I look forward to seeing you next time at the gaming table. Bye!